A plot hole is almost like an itch. No matter how much you try to pretend it's not there, the discomfort always comes back to haunt you. But in the case of Hollywood, sometimes all a film with holes needs is a sequel to fix the flaws that went unnoticed. In view of this, in this video we have gathered 10 sequences that fixed plot holes in previous films. Subscribe to the channel and like the video for more content like this. Take the opportunity to suggest the theme for the next video below in the comments. Captain Marvel, 2019. Captain Marvel managed to fix an issue that had been bothering MCU fans since the Tesseract started to play a more important role in the Infinity Saga as it houses a space stone. The flea behind the public's ear was why S.H.I.E.L.D. would have waited until the 21st century to do something with the object's full power, given that Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father, had removed the Tesseract from the sea while searching for Captain America. The answer came precisely in Captain Marvel. To explain this lack of action by S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel included the Tesseract in the plot of the film starring Brie Larson, where it appears in 1989 under the care of Dr. Wendy Lawson, a Kree in disguise whose objective is to help the Skrulls fleeing war through space travel at the speed of light. So, it's not like the Tesseract has been on the back burner all this time. It just wasn't in the hands of S.H.I.E.L.D. Terminator, Dark Fate, 2019. One of the questions that most tormented fans of the Terminator franchise is why Skynet hadn't sent other killing machines to kill John Connor, choosing to send only Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. Well, that question was answered in Terminator, Dark Fate, the sixth film in the saga. In the plot, it is revealed that another type of Terminator model, the T-800, was sent to kill John Connor. But that's not all. The film also shows that numerous models of robotic assassins were sent back to the past to try to end the young man's life, and, in the plot of Dark Fate, they managed to complete the mission successfully. Captain America, Civil War, 2016. Captain America, Civil War was a huge event in the MCU. But beyond the dilemma involving which hero would side with whom, a question that has intrigued fans since the end of Iron Man 3, 2013, finally received an answer. After all, what happened for Tony to appear with his suits intact if he had destroyed his arsenal and given up being Iron Man because of Pepper? The answer is simple and was answered in Civil War. Because he couldn't stay away from his life as a hero, Stark just decided to put on his red armor again, and he even mentions that he wasn't strong enough to simply give up his job. Later, in Avengers, Endgame, 2019, Tony confessed to Pepper that he couldn't stop working for the Avengers for the simple reason that he didn't want to let go. That's why he couldn't hide it from the team that he discovered time travel. Jurassic World, 2015. Another sequel that fixed a plot hole was Jurassic World, the fourth film in the Jurassic Park franchise. In the case of the dinosaur saga that marked Steven Spielberg's career, the flaw concerned some historical inconsistencies involving the dinosaur species used in the films, such as the Tyrannosaurus, which in real life would not have been able to run at great speeds as seen in the franchise. Or the fact that it is historically accepted that certain species of dinosaurs had feathers. To explain these errors, Jurassic World has a scene where geneticist Dr. Henry Wu explains that changes in the genetic material used to revive the animals may have altered their appearance, causing the dinosaurs to present characteristics different from those expected. Rogue One, a Star Wars Story, 2016. A question that has plagued Star Wars fans for decades involves the Death Star's engine and its weak point. What intrigued the public was how the Empire's engineers missed something like this, culminating in the destruction of the station at the hands of Luke Skywalker. Well, there is an answer to that and it was addressed in Rogue One, a Star Wars Story. The hole, in fact, occurred because of the actions of scientist Galen Erso, Jyn Erso's father. In the film, it is revealed that, during the construction of the Death Star, Galen left the port open as a hidden flaw, as he hated the Empire and hoped that, one day, someone would be smart enough to find the weak point of the space station. Thor, Ragnarok, 2017. Thor, Ragnarok was a turning point in Thor's career in the MCU, and the film also helped resolve a mysterious plot hole that had tormented fans of the franchise for many years. After all, was there a fake Infinity Gauntlet? If you remember correctly, the first time the Gauntlet appears in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in a post-credits scene in Avengers: Age of Ultron, 2015. However, the first Thor film features an artifact Easter egg that made many people wonder for years what the real Gauntlet was. The answer appeared in Ragnarok when the villain Hela entered Odin's vault in Asgard, knocking the gauntlet off its pedestal by claiming it was fake. So, in just a few seconds, Marvel finally fixed the hole left in the air so many years ago. Saw 3, 2006. Understanding the timeline of the Saw franchise has been a big question for fans who have been following the saga for years. But there was a question that tormented the public during the years between the release of the first and third films: how did John Kramer manage to pretend so well that he was a corpse in the plot of the first Saw? The doubt was clarified in Saw 3 during a flashback that reveals that Kramer had the help of Amanda Young to organize the scenario where Dr. Lawrence and Adam were trapped in the first film. To make Kramer appear to be truly dead in the middle of the scene, Amanda injected his mentor with a muscle relaxant. This explains why Jigsaw was able to maintain the pose for so long. The Godfather 2, 1974. Even great cinema classics face some holes along the way. One of director Francis Ford Coppola's most acclaimed films, The Godfather 2, raised many eyebrows with one question: why didn't Fredo, Michael's older brother, take over the family business entirely after Vito Corleone's death, even though he already commanded the operation in Las Vegas? This doubt is completely ignored by the first The Godfather, but the second film in the Mafia saga finally answered the question. What happened was that Fredo was, in fact, a traitor within his own family. He even helped plan the attack on his brother's life. Glass, 2019. Love it or hate it, M. Night Shyamalan's trilogy of heroes is one of the great successes of the filmmaker's career, who gave the world intriguing works full of twists, such as the famous The Sixth Sense, 1999. But there was a question that was not addressed in the films Unbreakable, 2000, and Split, 2016, and that made many people lose sleep trying to find the answer, that only gained an explanation in Glass, 2019. The problem concerned the fact that, in this universe, people with special abilities existed and the phenomenon was encountered frequently, but the only one who knew about it was Elijah Price himself. The answer to the question lies precisely at the end of the trilogy. In Glass, it is revealed that the secret organization Black Clover kept all of this secret to prevent these people with special powers from fully reaching their potential. Fast and Furious 9, 2013. The ninth film in the Fast and Furious franchise answers a question left open in the sixth film in the car racing saga. After all, why was Shaw seen as a hero when Fast and Furious 6, 2013, reveals that he was responsible for Han's death in the Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, 2006? It turns out that, in fact, none of that happened. The ninth film in the franchise corrects this perception regarding Shaw by revealing that Han was still alive, which frees the character from guilt. Subscribe to the channel and like the video for more content like this. Take the opportunity to suggest the theme for the next video below in the comments. See you in the next video.